meet our neighbors and to learn about their culture and their faith. And Flushing, I think, is a really important community because we're so diverse in so many different ways, not in the just the normal way of diversity, but diverse in terms of, you know, the kind of experiences that we all bring with us. And I always like to say that, you know, if you look at the Harlem Renaissance, the people who were African Americans who helped change American culture and history, they weren't even from Harlem. They weren't New Yorkers. They were from the Caribbean. They were from the American South, from Alabama, Georgia. They brought all their struggles with them and recreated and redefined what it means to be American. And I think that's what's going on in Flushing today. You have people from all around the world coming, bringing their unique struggle and their experiences and helping to reshape what it means to be American. So it's very exciting that you're here and you're able to experience some of that unique hybridity and culture. And so without any further ado, I'm going to invite Caroline to come and speak on behalf of the Meeting House.
Can everybody hear me? Yes. And Quakers began in the 1650s in Britain. Specifically, a young man named George Fox was very dissatisfied with the religious people that he found around him. And he became a seeker. And he was wandering on a hillside and stopped to rest and sat quietly, and he heard a voice. There is one Christ Jesus who can speak to your condition. And his words were, my heart did beat for joy. And he went about Britain where there were other seekers who would meet in people's homes just trying to figure out things. And he preached to them, and sometimes he preached to hundreds of people outdoors. And his message was that everyone has in his own self that which can respond to God, or that of God. And that is the basic belief of Quakers. We believe that God is accessible to us and to anybody without benefit of an intermediary in the form of a book or a person of an educated clergy. It is available to everyone. And so our meetings are held starting from silence in expectant waiting. And during that time, it is felt that if God has a message, somebody, not any one particular person, but someone will hear that call and will speak and pass the message on. And in some cases, someone else will add to it. Sometimes we sit in silence. And even if the meeting hears no message, there is a sense of community. We have a number of basic beliefs, but we have no creed. We believe that in what we call continuing revelation, it is just as possible for someone sitting here today to be inspired as for the people who wrote the Bible or another book to be inspired. So our faith evolves. We do not have decorations in our meeting houses because they're felt to be distractions. And I think that's all we can say. But I could be glad to. This meeting house was built in, this part of it was built in 1694. It was added onto the building next to that was, I'm not sure of the date, that's sort of like, I knew, not new to Quakerism, but I knew to this meeting, only 3 years, so I don't remember all the recent dates. Thank you, John. Yeah. it was added on then. And upstairs in that part, there is a schoolroom which was actually used as a public school. One of the first, I think, the first public school in New York. There are certain features to be seen in other parts that we could show you, but I don't think that's my purpose here. Anyone have questions about?
Was the British troops stationed here?
During the Revolutionary War, they were, yes. And the benches you're sitting on are replacements for the ones that they burned and fired with.
There's something Quakerism I heard called spice. Can you explain what those initials are?
Yes, that's a sort of an acronym for remembering our testimonies. And they all derive from the belief that there is something of God in everyone. Simplicity. Yes, integrity. I was trying to think what the P was. Peace. We don't kill because there's something of God in the other person. Integrity and community and care of the earth. Quality. Yes, I think
Is that kind of like a credo, or I know your creed was like we are, but is that kind of a semi-creed almost?
We don't have it's not like a litmus test.
Okay.
But people, I think, who come to worship with us, and if somebody wanted to become a member, it would be a question we would want to ask them to think about. Are they comfortable with those testimonies? And I certainly know people who have become members who say, I'm not quite sure of the peace testimony, and they grow into it. And we believe that we all grow into those. Another question? Yes, sir.
Do most members come from a Quaker background, or do most come just out of pure choice?
I think more of us now are what we call convinced friends than birthright friends. Sometimes we lose people who are brought up in Quakerism.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that this summer, Pendle Hill was something else, for drum writing workshop, but they had Quaker who worship in the mornings and, you know, couldn't do it on Sundays, they said like during the week, you know, some of us with the workshop attended that.
Good. It's a lovely place.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Quakers, where I'm from, have clergy. Speaking of the clergy, wasn't it? So what is is that one Quaker denomination, or are there two Quaker denominations?
It's one Quaker denomination, but I think that would have a historical kind of background. The belief is that we're all ministers. We didn't give up what we gave up was laity. Everyone is a minister. We're all responsible. However, when there was the movement west, sometimes the first religious building would be a Quaker meeting because it was easy to build. Any building, any simple building could be so other people would worship with them, but they had the background of sitting in silence, and they sort of wanted a minister. So they began, and we do have a tradition of appointing ministers. That is someone who seems to have a gift and exhibit it on a regular basis may be appointed as a minister after exhibiting them. So it sort of grew out of that, and we call those program meetings. And there are some of them in New York meeting. A few of them in New York meeting, although most of us are not.
Are they in the city?
Unprogrammed. I think there's one. Somebody else knows the answer?
Yeah, there's one, Manhattan meeting.
That's the one that meets early at 15th Street?
It's the one that meets every other week or something at 15th Street. Yeah, mostly, went to places like Kenya and built up programs, meetings in those places, so that's what they're used to. But they also worship together and get a program meeting, and the kids have programs together.
That's my last follow-up question. I apologize. Is there a tradition of the Trinity or in Quakerism? Did you call yourselves Christians or?
Some of us call ourselves Christians, not everyone does. We even have Quakers who are non-theists.